dirty. And we do have... Wow!
Oh no!
You gotta be kidding
Oh
me.
my goodness!
Judgment Day has arrived. Only 80 laps to decide who are going to be the 12 drivers in the playoffs. This is the most important race of the calendar outside of the season finale. And let's hope that these guys are going to give us a good show. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to round 22 of the 2025 PSRLA Cup Series. Welcome to the DuPont 400 at Dover Motor Speedway. Hello everybody, my name is Alex Vitale. The day is here. It has finally arrived. The most expected and dreaded moment at the same time of the 2025 season, the regular season finale. Yes, we finally arrived, despite all the issues that by this point everybody should be aware of, while we're finally here. So you could say, at least we got that part covered. But once the checker flag drops after the 80 laps, that's basically the easy part done for the 12 drivers that will make it onto the main event, onto the playoffs. Reminder that the top 10 drivers in points will qualify for the playoffs, as well as 2 wildcards, which of course we're going to go down in a little bit, who are currently the drivers who will make it to the playoffs. And of course we will see the definite list at the end of the 80 laps. But this is, as I said, this is the most important, the most crucial race of the 2025 season because of the implications. And also, it's one of the most races, but also the most brutal races, also because of the implications, and also because this is Dover. We all know how Miles the Monster does not pull any punches. So yeah, this is definitely a choice that was made, a conscious choice that the PSRLA officials made when making the calendar. Well, technically, I'm pretty sure it wasn't supposed to be like the season finale. It was supposed to be the first race of the playoffs, but then you all know what happened, so let's just skip that. But we made this race a lot more important thanks to those issues. But in terms of qualifying, Nathan Stapleton is once again on pole position, is for the year and the second in a row. It's almost no surprise this year. Stapleton has been one of the has consistently been one of the better drivers in the field. Alongside it will be Alexander Rowe, who has still keeps surprising on that 25 Polish Motorsports car. And remember, the guy is a super sub. He has replaced Bernardo de Oliveira for the remainder of the season, and he's pulling some really impressive runs. But then again, as I've said even last week, that's something that happens all the time in the PSRLA. Remember all the and of course I still remember all the impressive rookie runs that I had while running the Grand National Series races. Shout out to Gary Movadell of Montreal. Or Gary Movadell in the Canadian races as well, because he also did the race at Trois-Rivières in the Cup Series, if I'm correct, last year. But yeah. Then of course in third will be Angel Gutierrez, and then will be Jeffrey Finguy. Gutierrez, who won at Road America, also been quickly becoming one of the best drivers in the field, and currently I believe he is in the playoffs. No, he's not. Never mind. He's actually 19th in the playoffs and has 1 win. So if the drivers ahead of him fumble, especially one Bryce Segan fumbles and gets out of the top 20, the guy is in the playoffs. I believe for the third time in a row, but I could be mistaken. I don't remember anything about the 2024 season for obvious reasons, but still. And of course, Jeffrey Finguy is in fourth, who has won 4 wins has 4 wins to his name. And let's see if he can actually make it 5, even with 4 wins, he will still lead the championship. Will still lead the playoffs coming into the first race of the playoffs. And might as well finally talk about the playoff situation, since we're mentioning right now. As we stated, top 10 plus 2 wildcards, and right now the grid would be Gary Movadell, Roberto Crown Jr., Andrew Williams in third, thanks to the win last week. Last week at Willow Springs, if I'm correct. Yeah, it was at Willow Springs. Williams is is in third, and will be Dane Davidson, Nathan Stapleton is in fifth, Jeffrey Finga will be in sixth, Philip Torres, Troy Williams Jr., Zachary Fitzwater, and Jonathan Carrison, while the third drivers would be Bryce Egan and Roger Fogelman will be the two wildcards. And of course, Jeffrey Fingai and Nathan Stapleton, thanks to their new number of wins, they will be first and second, because the playoff, because the drivers once in the playoffs they get 3 extra points per win. So of course both Fingai and Stapleton will start the playoffs first and second. So yeah. But of course we will see the definite list at the end of the 80 laps. So I say, let's not waste any more time and let's get on with the show, shall we?
Drivers, start your engines!
The message has been given. These drivers were on the track any second now. And here they go. As for qualifying, Nathan Stapleton starts in pole position for the 4th time this year. Alongside will be Alexander Rowe. Then it will be Road America winner Anko Gutierrez. Then it's Jeffrey Fingai, Andrew Williams, Bryce Egan, Zane Davidson, Gary Momadeo, Al Innocent Jr. and Philip Torres rounding up the top 10. "80 laps at the most important race on the calendar. As the pace car is going to pull into the pits as they go for 3 and 4. The pace car pulls into the pits. Nathan Stapleton and Alexander Rowe will lead us to the green flag. Through the General Tire Research on the joy. Green flag is in the air. We're away at Dover. As Stapleton leads lap number 1, there's Jeffrey Fingai who immediately goes on the attack, side by side with Alexander Rowe, so that he's made it 3 wide between himself, Rowe and Gutierrez. And it looks like Fingai is going to take second place. In fact, it does at the backstretch. It does Alexander Rowe, Rowe's in third, Dennis Gutierrez in fourth. There's almost a 3 wide between the Williams, Egan and Davidson. Of course, all these guys will be in the playoffs, and now it looks like Williams is going to win this. In fact, it does. It clears. He cleared Davidson. Now looks like he's going to clear Egan. And now Davidson is going to take advantage of the momentum to pass Egan. As the Swan also on the inside of Egan. Egan is dropping down like a sack of potatoes. Side by side between teammates and the 2 Czechoslovak teammates of Gary Model and Troy Williams Jr. Also playoff bound. As Lon is going to settle behind the 27 car. In the meantime, there is Rowe glued to the rear of the 41 car of Jeffrey Fingai. But Fingai has the ever so important little safety gap. So we're not going to do anything unless of a dive bomb. As Troy Williams Jr. and Momadeo are still side by side. Into 1 and 2, and Momadeo looks like he's going to clear the number 6. No, they're still there. Williams is not letting go. Williams Jr. is not letting go. As Crusader Karshmar going through what is Al Innocent Jr., I think. Yes. They're still there. Troy Williams Jr. and Momadeo still battling. Side by side between what I think Jonathan Carrison and Jonathan Carrison and Avery Alford. There's Burkham Jr. second in the standings right now. Also playoff bound. There's Ryan Little, the teammate of Troy Williams Jr. Now using the momentum from the battle of Momadeo to see if he can take a 10th away from the other Allen Motorsport driver. But in the meantime, Stapleton keeps leading the race. Second is Fingai, then it's Alexander Rowe. Then it's Gutierrez, Williams, Davidson, Egan, Sloan, Robadell, and Troy Williams Jr. in the top 10. There's Crown battling with Avery Alford. Alford is going to win the battle. Battle between teammates of Torres and Justin Perez. There's Fitzwater battling with the other wildcat spot right now in Reggie Fogelman, and now it clears the 95 car, and Carson Miller is going to take advantage of that. He's going to take advantage of momentum as Stapleton has completed lap number 10, is about to, where is Stapleton? Stapleton is in the middle of the back stretch into 3 and 4, about to complete lap number 10 and complete lap number 9 and start lap number 10, sorry. And running up the rear of the field is to the partner Skylar Taylor, as Stapleton leads lap number 9. Right now, the Staple has led every single lap as of now. Everybody right now is in single files, except because Sostry, who was dealing with Paris, and now Fitzwater, and maybe Brendan Beal as well. Brendan Beal is going, and it's a Sostry, and Sostry defending. Yes, he does. Now he's got to watch himself from Fitzwater on the outside, and Fitzwater makes it easy work of Brendan Beal. As I said, between Blaine Keys and Richard Fogelman. And those G's D'Amelio, who remember in the National Series last year, he did amazing at Dover. He won that race. He pretty much dominated that race as Keys goes through Fogelman. But in the meantime, alright, almost 3 wide between Egan Gutierrez and Andrew Williams. Now Egan looks like Egan has cleared both the checkered flag and the able car, as now Gutierrez is on the outside of Williams. Both winners had road courses. Williams at last week at Willow Springs, and Gutierrez at Wood America. As Movadell goes side by side with Tom Sloan, and in the meantime, as you can see there, the leading trio are starting to pull away from the rest of the field. Almost 1.6 seconds is the gap between the leading trio and St. Davidson. In the meantime, we got a big battle for what would be 9th? No, would be 8th. 9th between Movadell, Trojans Jr. and Little. There's going to be side by side, they're really close to each other. And Sloan looks like he's trying to pull a move on his teammate. And Gutierrez is going to hit the wall, he's going to brush the wall. They might allow Sloan through. Into 3 and 4 they go, side by side. But no, Gutierrez is going to keep the position. Sloan at a turbo exit over 3, over 4. There goes Little on the inside of the room, being helped by the Giacomo. Now the Giacomo is going to try and fence and move on the Toyota car, but no. Actually, Little goes up high. The Giacomo goes low. The Giacomo goes low, side by side into the main straightaway. But Little looks like he's going to defend the position. Yes, he does, and that's going to allow the Koshmar through, and now. There goes the Giacomo's engine. His day is definitely done. Are we going to get any cautions? Doesn't look like it. So the Giacomo's day is indeed done. And the car is stopped right there. I don't think there's going to be any cause for a caution, I want to say. No, never mind, there is a caution. There is a caution. So we have a caution. The Giacomo's the Giacomo's engine failure is a caution, our first caution of the race. And of course, all the drivers are going to pit. And, dear Lord. Okay. This is an interesting look. So everybody right now looks like they're going to be lapped in the pits as we focus on Nathan Stapleton. But of course, I mean, they're gonna get lapped, but things should get clear once the first group that pitted goes back and cycles out. As we focus on Stapleton. Contact between Gutierrez and the Finn guy back there. Was 4,000 fuel for all of these guys. And looks like Bryce Egan is going to win the battle of the pit road. Stapleton is going to be second, then Fingas in third, and is Rowe, Gutierrez, Davidson, and Williams, and Ream actually, and Riley Ream. But of course, Anthony Nicol is going to be the first driver that catches up back to the pace car. And even though we've seen it, let's check the replay to see what caused the first caution of the race. Caution number 1, and it's caused by the piston failure of Bruno Di Giacomo. There's the engine grenading in the middle of 2 and into the backstretch. And unfortunately, the engine failure is so severe that Giacomo cannot make it to the end of the cannot make it back to the pits. He's crossing what would be pit exit, and of course he goes down the apron in the part of the road between the track and the apron. And while sitting by the cameras, Giacomo is going very, very slow, and he cannot essentially get to the playoffs. Get to the playoffs. I mean, this is the race that decides the playoffs, but he cannot get to pit road because the damage is so severe as everybody flies by the Giacomo, and I believe this should be the part where the car just straight up stops. And not now. I would assume it would be pretty somewhat. Now there's the car popping back into the cameras, and the car, there it goes. The car comes to a complete stop. The engine gone. The piston is gone, and for the Giacomo, it's goodbye. Watching it in real time as the Giacomo is doing a lot of caution. The engine goes down, and that's basically it for this race. Unfortunately, as you saw, we were able to catch it as this was happening. So, lucky us, I guess. And with that, see you trackside. And we're back live here at Dover Motor Speedway for the DuPont 400, round 22 of the 2025 PSRLA Cup Series season, the final race of the regular season. We're coming out of the caution, and the top 10 currently is Bryce Egan, Nathan Stapleton, Jeffrey Fingai, Alexander Rowe, and Gutierrez, Zane Davidson, Ryan Little, Andrew Williams, Tom Sloan, and Guillermo Vidal, as the lap cars are going to let the field through, hopefully with no problems. And looks to be exactly what's going to happen. No problems for this restart, so that's good, as all the cars go side by side for the restart. Bryce Egan right now one of the wild cards for for the playoffs, as they go through the general title restart zone. Back in the green we go, and Stapleton's gonna get an amazing launch off the line. Stapleton's gonna take the lead back from Egan, and it looks like Rowe is going through as well, 3 wide between these 3 guys, and Fingai does a bonsai move from fourth to second. He passes both Rowe and Egan to launch himself back in the chase for Stapleton, as Rowe and Davidson go through Egan. Now he's gonna deal with another 2 Chevrolets of the 2 teammates of Williams and Vidal. That's another Chevrolet, the Chevrolet of the Laura Koshmar. There goes Williamson instead of Egan into free. And Williams should make easy work of Egan of the Vision Motorsports Chevrolet. No, he's actually going to pull up a bigger fight. They're still side by side into the backstretch, as now Koshmar might take advantage of that. Koshmar goes through Egan and Movedel. So double overtake for Koshmar. That was a very smart move decision from Koshmar as Movadel clears Egan and now puts himself in the fight between. Now puts Koshmar in the sights as you saw there. Carson Miller. Ooh, there's Denny John. There's Genius D'Amelio. Genius D'Amelio is left down as Movadel is dealing with Koshmar, and we're on the caution again. For what reason? Okay. Ooh. Oh god, Taurus flipped. Taurus flipped. Damage on Gardner's car. There's also some big damage on Neely's car. That could be fatal for the OSC driver. And ooh! Well, that's definitely a DNF for Jack Haas right there. As looks like both Davenport and Taylor missed pit road. Although the thing is, so Torres looks like he is out, and Davenport is still moving. Maybe that car has issues. Right now he's stuck in the between the apron and the racing surface as everybody is pitting. There goes for Carson Miller, and I'm afraid this could be another DNF. In fact, back to the pits that goes, and ooh, also Brady Lareem has problems. Probably also missed pit road. Heavy damage to that 25 Dracoman car. Maybe also in the pit. No, continue on. No, never mind. As now Nathan Stapleton goes to the pits. Okay. So yeah, that is going on indeed. That as Mendoza's car turned into a modified, and Ream looks like he's finally moving, although still brushing walls. So definitely major problems on that car. Let's see what will happen with Brad Ream. Let's see if he can actually make it to the pits, and there goes. So Ream finally managed to get himself unstuck off of the wall, and while the field is catching up, let's see the replay to see what caused the second caution of the race. Caution number 2. We're looking at the Smart Motorsports Philip Torres, and check out Carson Miller. Carson Miller is joined the track at the worst possible time. He does not see Torres. They make contact. Torres crashes into Carrison and into into Perez, who was right behind them. More contact with Perez. There's Neely crashing into Fitzwater while Fitzwater is checking out because of Torres. And also Danny Johnson smashing into the Australian driver. More contact. There's Monaco smashing into Neely. Neely smashing into Torres. Torres is going to flip. Also Taylor, Davenport, Haas, Ream, and Gardner get involved. There's also Hunter Mendoza crashing. There's Standard Pardon, who somehow managed to slow down in time to avoid any major contact. But yeah, that was a big hit. And amazingly enough, Torres is the damage Torres suffered is not enough to be fatal. Amazingly enough, this is going to be set away for both Neely and Johnson, unfortunately. Watching it in real time, there's Miller, and there is the chain reaction. Several hits all over the place. Torres flips, and yeah, that was a crash. But as we stated, Torres is going to be fine. This thing cannot be set for both Neely and Johnson. And with that, see you trackside. Also, while all that was happening, check out Jack Haas. He suffered damage to that car, and of course he decides to enter the pits to fix that damage. The problem is he enters too late and misjudges it, and boom, right on the wall, engine gone, race over. definitely a rookie mistake from the Canadian driver. And we're back live here at Dover Motor Speedway for the DuPont 400, round 22 of the 2025 season. We're coming out of the caution, and we have 22 drivers on the 21 drivers on the lead lap, and the retirement list has gotten pretty extensive. So Danny Johnson, Eric Monaco, Joshua Neely, Jack Haas, Tanner Partner 6 laps down, and of course Bruno Di Giacomo are out of the race. And of course, as we said, only 21 drivers on the lead lap, while the top 10 currently is Tom Sloan, Alexander Rowe, Jeffrey Finguy, Andrew Williams, Gary Movadell, Lara Koshmar, Zane Davidson, that's not James Jr., sorry, Bryce Egan and Ang Gutierrez rounding up the top 10. As the cars go side by side for the second restart, as the pace car pulls into the pits. Sloan and Rowe will lead us to the green flag on lap number 31, and back in the green we go. And Rowe does not get the launch the Stapleton had on the first restart, but looks like he's going to. No, he's actually going to stand second. Actually, it looks like he's going to lose second place because there's Finguy. He's super aggressive on these restarts. Finguy being helped by Movadell side to side with. He's going to attack on the inside of Sloan. But Sloan is going to defend. He does. He actually had bad exit off of one. As Finguy now deals side by side with Alexander Rowe. Finguy being helped by Movadell. Movadell current leader of the championship. It looks like at this point pretty much the clear-cut winner of the regular season championship. As Rowe clears Finguy by the skin of his teeth. And now there we go. Now Rowe finally clears him in the middle of the backstretch. Now gets set aside on Thomas Lawn, and there goes Movadell on the inside of Finguy as Egan and Davidson battle side by side into the main straight, and there's Robert Crown Jr. between them, behind them actually. There's Brendan Beal leaving the pits. There is, speaking of small motorsport, there is also Luke Evans in the pits. There's Luke Evans running up the rear of the field as there's Brendan Beal rejoining the track. Of course, also Brandon William joined the modified series alongside Hunter Mendoza. But in the meantime, back up front, as Movadell was glued to the rear of the 31 Durrani car of Jeffrey Finguy. There goes Movadell charging on the side of Finguy. Looks like he's going to defend. Yes, it does, at least for now. But Movadell is going to stick the line. He's going to stick to his line. But no, he cannot find any space as you saw there, Crown trying to attack Davidson, but Davidson defends easily and pulls a safety gap from himself and Crown. Same thing gonna be set for Alfred. Alfred goes on the inside. Let's see if he can try something. And there goes Alfred side by side with Crown. Although Crown has the better line. The outside line is proven to be the better line here at Dover today. Side by side between Kochmar and Karl Sastry. Sastry is going to probably defend his position. Depends on what exit he's going to get out of 4. And not a good exit. And Kochmar looks like he's going to get this one. No, Sastry is still there. Sastry is running a pretty big fight. As there's Egan on the inside of Andrew Williams. Egan passes him pretty easily. There goes Rowe for the lead. On the inside of Sloan into 1 and 2. But now Sloan puts himself too far away, too forward to stick the landing. At least it looked like it 1 and 2, but now it looks like he can actually stick the landing if he that's the word again. If he decides to stick with it, but no, he's gonna settle behind the 43 Able Motorsports car. As Finguy looks like he's going to try and attack. If he commits to it, there we go. That's what I wanted to say, but too late for that, I'm afraid. There goes Rowan inside Sloan. Enters the frame four pretty awkwardly, and looks like Rowe is going to clear. No. Sloan is going to defend on the outside. Although Rowe is still there, is not giving again. We're halfway for the race. And Alexander Rowe is going to take the lead, and now Finga is going to take advantage from that. And Finga goes up into second. As Egan also is going to pass the Irish driver. No, actually. Rowe goes up high. Egan is still on the inside, but now Egan clears the free car and now puts a sight on Finguy. We are halfway through the race as Rowe completes lap number 33. I'm pretty sure this is like the first lap just ever led in the 59 car, if anything, if ever in the 2025 season. I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure he never did in the 90 car. He never led a lap in the 90 car. But in the meantime, Morbidello is glued to the rear of his Chevrolet manufacturer mate into frame four as Davidson is dealing with Williams as Long puts a safety gap between himself and Morbidello. As Rowe looks like he's starting to pull away from Finguy. Finguy now has got to deal with a very quickly approaching Bryce Egan. Only 2/10 separated the 41 and 27. It has now become 3/10, so Finguy. No, actually, it's still 2/10. Sorry. I was looking at the gap between Rowe and Finguy. Rowe has indeed increased the gap a little bit, not by much. As everybody right now is single file. There is Nathan Stapleton. Nathan Stapleton cut off pretty badly by the cautions, so right now he's in 17th. He's technically still playing a attempt to recover at least a top 10 spot, but with the way these guys are going, especially if they have to make another stop, who knows? In the meantime, there's Alfred closing in on Crown. Can Alfred try for an attack? No. He settles behind the 37 car. As now the leading trio are starting to pull away, and there's Luke Evans. The three leaders are almost about to catch up to him. There's Hunter Mendoza and Bradley Ream, the two modifieds of the race. There's also for Torres. I'm surprised that he is still in the race despite the flip. But in the meantime, Sloan and Morbidello are still glued to each other. There's Brown. Right now, Morbidello will be the winner of the regular season. As Rowe, Finguy, and Egan are going to make it 31 laps to the checker flag. Lap number 49 is in the books. Lap number 50 has begun, and this three have 2.4 seconds from Tom Sloan. As Alfred is desperately trying to get past Crown, but it's not going to find any space whatsoever. Brown is putting some real defensive work to defend from Avery Alfred. I'm pretty sure. And there goes Rowe has catched up to the lap cars of Luke Evans. Passes them pretty easily. Can Finguy and Egan do the same? And the answer looks to be absolutely. So both Finguy and Egan and Rowe tackle the car of Luke Evans pretty easily. Now they gotta deal with another lap car in Hunter Mendoza. And that actually might have helped Rowe pull away from Finguy. Almost half a second is the gap now. As Sloan and I believe there was Bradley Ream also pitting. There was a dark yellow car, so maybe there was Bradley Ream. As Rowe deals with Mendoza, as does second and third. Although I think this did a little bit more damage to Rowe than to Finguy and Egan, because I think the gap has shrunk it down. In fact, it is Bradley Ream. The gap is shrunken down. Only 3/10 is the gap between Finguy and Rowe. And of course, half a second between the leader and Egan. But there we go, Alexander Rowe goes into the pits. Alexander Rowe is in the pits. And Jeffrey Finguy is going to lead a lap. But of course, we'll have to see if he's going to lap. He's going to pit this lap. So, second round of pit stops. And this time are definitely scheduled pit stop. There it goes. Ooh. There's Bradley Ream. And looks like Finguy and Egan are going to keep one more lap. As there's, it's just so that Justin Perry is also pitting. Of course, there is Zane Davidson pretty much absolutely nowhere near the leading duo. Although, Finguy keeps going, Egan's in the pits, Finguy keeps going. Finguy keeps going for one more lap. So, overcut strategy for the Toronto boys. Let's see if Finguy, if the strategy is going to work or not. And I would assume he will have to pit now. In fact, he does. Jeffrey Finguy in the pits. Past goes Bradley Ream. There's Avery Alford. And Zane Davidson and Andrew Williams. I would assume they also have to pit. There's also Gene Stiletto pitting. But I would assume these guys will also be pitting. As Davidson had a bit of trouble dealing with the lap car of Mendoza. Are they going to pit? Davidson, Williams, Crown, and Anderson Doe. And ooh! And Blaine Keys has blown an engine, and this might be another caution. This might be another caution. This could be another caution. As Blaine Keys blown an engine, tried to get into the pits, but completely missed it. And looks like we're still green. And now I have no idea who's leading right now because of what happened, because of what just happened with Blaine Keys. So yeah, this race has turned immediately into the race of all time. There goes Rowan with Finguy. And I ran out because of that. Only 7 cars are on the lead lap. And one of them is not Jeffrey Finguy, at least according to the ticker. There's Blaine Keys, so no cautions, at least for now. Ooh, oh no, oh god. Okay, now we might actually give a caution. No caution. No caution. Okay. Alright then. This is indeed interesting. As Keys finally makes it onto the pits with a smoking engine, but no caution. I have no idea what just happened, but it happened, and oh my god. You could have made this racing more chaotic if you tried. But right now it looks like Ag Gutierrez. Oh, he's in the pit, so never mind. So I have zero clue what's going on right now. But I would assume Alexander Rowe should be the leader of the race. Second should be Jeffrey Finguy, and then Bryce Egan. And yep, it is. 1 second, the gap between Rowe and Jeffrey Finguy. Oh dear lord, we haven't had one of those races in a while, haven't we? But anyway, Rowe is reaching the Dracovan car of Duncan Ward. In the meantime, we got a mosh pit between Gutierrez, Torres, Pardon, and Taylor. And now it looks like Gardner and Ward are going to join in as Rowe catches up to the PS and Dracovan cars. He's going to make sure notice of Gardner if Ward is not gonna impede him too much. And of course, he doesn't want to impede the match because guess what? These two guys are coming in and they're coming in hot. As Rowe deals with both Ward and Gardner, now deals with both Torres and Taylor. And Finga is gonna see his road closed, his line closed by the Scottish Steamroller in Duncan Ward. Duncan Ward, who last week claimed a win at Run America in the World Cup Series. Rosewood finished second. Yeah, I know, I started to call amazing results when it doesn't matter anymore, when I'm out of the playoffs. But anyway, yeah, not being salty at all, but still. Finga is having a lot of problems lapping the cars, which is not a problem from Alexander Rowe, who looks like he's going to deal with Gutierrez. And Finga, and he's gonna still bogged down by lap cars, this time they're bogged down by Skylar Taylor. As Rowe, and this could possibly be, unless another caution happens, this could be the race-winning moment for Alexander Rowe. Unless something major happens. In the meantime, Finga finally clears the lap cars of Duncan Ward and Skylar Taylor, and so does Egan. But now they gotta go for Tanner Parton, and they lost a lot of time to Alexander Rowe. 2 seconds is the gap between them and the Appalachia driver, who's now dealing with the lap car of Van Gutierrez. And if nothing goes wrong, that could be the race-winning moment for Alexander Rowe. And if he does win, that will mean that both Appalachia cars, once again, would have both of its cars on both its full-time cars on both of its drivers as race winners. And also we include Bartolomeo, of course, as Finga reaches the 97 of Tanner Parton, as Rowe is still unable to catch up to Gutierrez, but he goes through the very slow Luke Evans, as Gutierrez is dealing with the also very slow Hunter Mendoza. Finga is Eager bugged down by Tanner Parton, and that could possibly allow Egan to pull up a very smart move on Finga, but Finga is going to close the door. There goes Egan on the inside of Finga, using Tanner Parton as a pick, and they're still side by side. Finga is still dealing with Parton, and Egan should have this one in the bag. In fact, he does. As Finga is still bugged down by Tanner Parton, these two guys are definitely going to have a bit of a conversation once the race ends. As now, finally, Jeffrey Finga clears Tanner Parton and now puts himself in the battle for Bryce Egan. But I'm afraid it's too late to catch up to Alexander Rowe, who is on the inside of Gutierrez. Anyway, then these two guys will have to deal with both Luke Evans and Hunter Mendoza, and now Gutierrez looks to be joining the human shield between these two and Alexander Rowe. And through goes Rowe, as he's going to start lap number 75. 6 laps to go left here at Dover, as Finga has taken back the second place away from Bryce Egan, and now clears Mendoza, and so does Egan. But the problem is, I think that's too late to catch up to Alexander Rowe unless a caution happens. But after what just happened with Blinkies, I doubt that we're gonna get anything similar. In fact, Rowe has even increased the gap from Finga and Egan. Almost 3 seconds is the gap between first and second. 4.5 laps to go. 4.5 laps left here at Dover, and we got a caution. We got a caution for what reason? And there's Luke Evans. Luke Evans is out, and I believe this is going to be an overtime attempt. This is very likely going to be an overtime attempt. So the race is not over yet, folks. Yes, we are indeed going to overtime. 5 laps to go. We are indeed going to overtime. We are going to overtime, ladies and gentlemen. So this race is not done yet. We are going to overtime. It has been a little while since we've gone to overtime, but now we got this. This regular season finale is giving it more and more. This is the gift that keeps on giving. And let's see what caused the first caution of the race and the first overtime attempt. Caution number 3, and we're looking at Luke Evans. Now, it looks like it's perfectly fine, but check this out. In a few seconds, as Evans goes for into, there we go, the engine goes up in smoke for Evans. And look at what happens. He tries to get down the apron, obstructing Duncan Ward in the process as well. Evans goes down the apron, but look at what happens. Apparently Evans cannot slow down fast enough because of course this is the exit to pit entry, and apparently Evans completely misjudges the exit because boom, right into the wall of pit exit. And of course the engine, if it wasn't dead already, it is dead now, and it stops in the middle of the track, and of course that causes the caution. Watching it in real time, Evans' engine goes up in smoke, it goes down the apron, and he completely screws up the timing. He smashes into the wall, and the hit is hard enough to completely kill the car, and that's how we got a caution. And with that, see you trackside. And we're back live here at the Dover Motor Speedway for the DuPont 400. First overtime attempt. Alexander Rowe leads. Second is Jeffrey Finguy. Then is should be Bryce Egan, but oh dear, we might have a bit of a moment right now. We have a bit of a moment as Bryce Egan and Avery Alford clear themselves. Oh, we're gonna have a major moment here at Dover. Everybody else, I don't think is the PSRLA going to make this start count, as the 4 cars managed to catch up to the pace car are going side by side. Finguy and Rowe are going to lead us to the green flag if they're gonna make it. If they're gonna make it count, we got a 2-lap shootout, and they're gonna make it count. The green flag is in the air. They got a major mess. This is overtime turn number 1, and and there we go. Never mind. Well, there it goes. Attempt number 2. We are going back to overtime. Attempt number 2. We did not even make it, and Tomello is out of the race. We did not even make it 1 lap. Actually, we didn't even make it, what? Before turn 1, before the caution came out again. Of course, attempt number 2 of 3. As this is going to be an absolute. This is as I stated, we haven't had a race like this in quite a long time. But ooh, and oh boy, there goes Fitzwater. There goes. Oh dear God, what in Christ's green have just happened? Oh my God. I think we have 4 DNFs in one go. Okay, so Oh my god. Yeah. It's happening, folks. It's happening. It's chaos. It's just chaos. But as everything is trying to settle itself down, let's check the replay to see what caused our second overtime attempt. Overtime number 1 failed, and that is because of this. Philip Torres, Zachary Fitzwater, and Genius D'Amelio go free wide. Torres squeezes D'Amelio through. D'Amelio squeezes. They make contact. Fitzwater hits the wall, hits D'Amelio, and that's gonna send D'Amelio into half spin. And it's gonna involve Troy Williams Jr. as well. They both Williams and D'Amelio spin. And that is the reason why our second overtime attempt. Basically, too much chaos coming into the white flag, the green flag, sorry, and unfortunately that happens. Also involving Fitzwater, this is literally a couple of seconds after the caution. Look at RB Gardner and Tucker Fitzwater. We got a moment that cannot be described. There's also Salstry behind them, and there's also Fogelman as they are getting out of turn 2 and into the backstretch. There's Rockron Jr., who fortunately is not getting involved. There's also Zane Davidson, and now the moment is going to happen in a few seconds. Just give it a little bit. Just wait a little bit. It happens around the middle part of the backstretch. This moment between Garner and Fitzwater, which I have no idea how to describe. Of course, it's going to happen any moment now. Any moment now it's going to happen, and should be happening right about now. There we go. Both Salstry, Fitzwater, Garner, Fogelman, and looks like even Davenport and Davidson are involved in the crash. So is Troy Williams Jr. Williams can move, fortunately. But the same cannot be said for Fogelman, for these 4 guys that I just mentioned, as Davenport manages to get out. So, yeah, that indeed happened. We are watching it in real time as Fitzwater is approached by Garner and Salstry and Fogelman. Of course, there's the traffic jam because of the sudden caution, and boom, and boom. There it goes. 4 drivers out in one go. This race has indeed turned. I don't know what to call the race of all time, but yeah, this was an absolute. This was a race. Period. And with that, let's go back trackside. And we're back live here at Dover Motor Speedway for the second overtime attempt. And the top 10 right now is Jeffrey Finguy, Avery Alford, Alexander Rowe, Zane Davidson, Brooke Brown Jr., Ali Anderson Jr., Justin Perez, Bryce Egan, Andrew Williams, and Guillermo Vidal rounding up the top 10. And the retirement list has gotten pretty big. So Richie Fogelman is out, Kelly Salstry is out, Tucker Fitzwater is out, and so are Aubrey Gardner, Janice D'Amelio, Brandon Beal, Blaine Keys, Danny Johnson, Eric Monaco, Joshua Neely, Jack Haas, and Bruno Giacomo. And of course, plenty of lap cars, only 15 cars on the lead lap, last of them being Nathan Stapleton. But yeah, second overtime attempt. Finguy and Alford will lead us to the green flag. here on lap number 86, number 85, and green flag is in there once again, and Alfred, ooh, he got seriously bucked down, and Finga's got a problem. Finga's got a problem. Finga's got a problem. He's slowing down. Finga's got a problem. Finga is got a problem. He's pulling into the pits. Finga's got a problem. Finga is got a problem, and that might allow. Oh boy! Oh, they're pinning it. Oh my God! These guys might not have enough fuel to make it to the end. As Alexander Rowe takes the white flag. 1 lap to go. Don't tell me that's. Ooh, Jeffrey Gascar is dead. Oh my God! Don't tell me all these guys ran out of fuel. You kind of made this race even more weird than it was. And Alexander Rowe is going to win at Dover because of pit stop shenanigans. And oh my God. Well, I said we hope these guys will give us a good show, and this was the show, right? Virtually everybody ran out of fuel on the final lap except Alexander Rowe. Oh my, what the? What? Oh my God, what happened? So, oh, I'm losing my mind here, again, folks. Oh my God. But yeah, I guess. So, Alexander Rowe wins the DuPont 400 at Dover. Second is Nathan Stapleton, and then it's Bryce Egan, Gary Movadell, Zane Davidson, Ali Anderson Jr., Justin Paris, Avery Alford, and Ryan Little, and Andrew Williams running at the top 10. And yeah, this race is this. I have no clue how to describe this race. I can even call this the race of all time, a race of all time, because this was just something else. So only Rowe and Stapleton are going to finish the race on the lead lap, and you audience, try and describe what just happened, because I seriously, for the life of me, cannot figure it out. I mean, I said we hope to actually get a nuts race, and we got a good race, and we got the show, right? Oh my God. And yeah, I honestly have no other things to say about the race. Yeah, because there's really nothing else to be said. Everything was fine, and then that. Oh my God. I might need a few minutes. Actually, we're gonna take a few minutes because we need to figure out we need to we need to figure out the points for the playoffs. And I guess we will see you once we got the official standings, official playoffs list. Who's going to be in the playoffs come next race. And we're live back here at Dover Motor Speedway for DuPont 400 that has just finished. And we finally have the definitive playoffs grid. And it's going to be Jeffrey Fingai, Nathan Stapleton, Zane Davidson, Gary Movadell, Roberto Crown Jr., Andrew Williams, Philip Torres, Troy Williams Jr., Leonard Koshmar, Jonathan Carrison, Reggie Fogelman, and Bryce Egan are your 12 drivers for the playoffs. And of course, Fitzwater is the first of the normal drivers that will basically be fighting for glory. Then will be Thomas Lawn, Avery Alford, Ryan Little, Hunter Anderson Jr., Luke Evans, Zach Gutierrez, and Brendan Beal rounding up the top 20. So, as I stated at the intro, Finga and Stapleton will start the playoffs first and second, and well, that's the easy part done. Now comes the hard part for the 12 drivers, and now effectively begins a completely new championship because okay, 22 races. Okay, the first 22 races were something, but now those count for, as I said, but now those count for nothing. Now it's the final 10 races that count, and who knows what's going to happen next week, which I believe next week we should be racing at, hold on a minute, I think we should be racing, I believe, at Indianapolis, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, okay, whoa, okay, I was correct. We're racing in Indianapolis next week, so yeah. What a show to start the playoffs, but yeah, we have our 12 drivers, and there's virtually nothing else to be said other than this has been a special presentation of the 2025 PSRLA Series 45th Network. I'm Lex Vitale, and see you next week for the first race of the playoffs, the Brickyard 400. So long, everybody. From Dover, congratulations again to Alexander Rowe.